session. We are here at the main line. We're going to get started on how to do the comb cut for cats. There's a couple of different ways to do it. Some are advanced and some are uh, for beginners. Some are for cats with matted coats, which you can use certain tools to get somewhat of a comb cut with a matted or impacted coat. Some you can just easily glide your combs through the coat. So we're going to get started, but before we do, we're going to just go over a couple of favorite things that we do here at the salon to help. When a cat first arrives, the first thing that we're going to do is take a towel like this little, it's a big micro fiber towel. We're going to spray it with some Bellaway, and we are going to then drape the cat carrier with that towel. And that is where our model is right now. With he's just sitting quietly with the towel over him while he's patiently waiting for the grooming to begin. We have a beautiful ragdoll cat named Rocco who's going to be helping us demonstrate how to do the comb cut today. Also, I wanted to talk about preparation time here at the cat salon. In between cat grooming appointments, it's really important that we eliminate the smell of any cat who was already here. We're always going to look for ways to keep a cat from getting triggered. And scent is their number one form of intelligence. So after we disinfect the tabletop, I use rubbing alcohol as my go-to method because it's cheap and it evaporates quickly. And then once that's wiped and cleaned down, we then spray the Nature's Miracle. And then that Nature's Miracle we allow to just, you don't just spray and wipe, you want to spray and let it sit and dry for a few minutes. So that is the proper way to use this natural enzyme to eliminate the smell of another cat. Now at home, you don't have to worry about things like that. So, and then we're going to talk about the Happy Hoodie. Rocco is a large ragdoll cat, and one of the number one hacks for ragdoll cats is this Happy Hoodie. It's very breed specific, meaning it's going to work on 99.9% of all ragdoll cats to help keep them calm if they're not already. So I recommend getting two of these, one for when you're grooming them dry, and then one for if you need to utilize this technique in the bath. And you can put this over your cat's head as long as they're not prone to hyperventilating. If you are trying to groom your cat and they go into an open mouth pant, you do not use this, nor do you continue with the grooming. You just stop. So anyway, I wanted to just take you guys over. I'm doing a double live. So this entire class is going to be posted on the UBTubi. So if you check the link in my bio, it's going to take you to the other links. Now, we haven't been posting the classes, but we will, and we're going to, after, we're going live stream on TikTok and simultaneously on UBTubi. And this entire class will be posted so you can go back and reference it. A lot of people ask questions about what shampoos to use. Well, I can show you some of cat groomers' favorites in the industry. But honestly, the most important thing for you to learn is how to clean the cat's coat properly. It is a process. And doing the comb cut, the bath is vital. Learning how to do the bath correctly is vital to getting that beautiful polished look of the comb cut. So up here we have the aniline, uh, which does have the fragrance-free finishing and face shampoo, or the lemongrass shampoo for oily coats. And then we carry our entire Pink Pal line as well. Both of those lines are from Champion Showcat Persian handlers. We also have the Petway, which is from Australia. which is a degreasing shampoo favorite. I personally feel if they had just gone with an unscented shampoo, it would have been better because I do not like their fragrance. Here's some lemongrass bars. They're just soap bars specifically designed for stud tail. And then up here, we have some of the Le Pooch shampoos and the Chris Christensen Clean Start. So the Clean Start is a favorite. It's a clarifying shampoo. And then the Le Pooch carries a wonderful line of shampoos. And then, of course, we can't groom cats without a Chubb Spar. So the Chubb Spar is going to be something that every cat owner is going to want to use. And then we have some of the Groomer's Goop products. We are these Hydra lines and the iGroom lines are just there to, hey Musha, say hi to Musha, um, just to explore what's on the market with the different grooming lines. Oh, and then of course we have our Pink Paw Pal line. So those are just all of the samples. I love their some of their products. I am still exploring all of their products. So there's a lot to choose from. So it's more or less just what your personal preference is. Some are going to have fragrances. Some are specifically designed to not have any fragrance. So just like if you were to go to a shampoo aisle to look for something for your hair, you're going to be overwhelmed by the amount of choices. And then you're going to pick your personal favorite. And the same would apply to your cats, right? So anyway, and then here's a really great tool, the continuous spray pump. This is the little mini version that I have on my Amazon idea list in the link in my bio. In these little continuous spray bottles, you can put things like the Hydra Dematting Spray, which is my favorite. I utilize this product all the time when I'm dealing with matting in the coat, when I need to break down the coat prior to the bath. And in some cases, if there's still some tangles or heavy mats after the bath, I'll spray a little bit of this into the coat after the towel wrap and then use that variable speed dryer to blow the coat out. And it just does magic on any matting that's in your cat's coat. So anyway, let's get started on Rocco. We're going to do a comb cut. The service request here at our salon is called the Liger. And that's a combination of a lion and a tiger. So he's going to get the head and mane of a lion and then the body of a tiger. So it's going to be the same length all over on the body. And then the mane is going to be kept natural. And then we're going to sculpt in a lion tail. Hey, Rocco, come on out. And we have little churros here to help entice cats, to encourage them to come out or just help keep them calm or just make it a happy place for them. And some cats are too pensive to eat. Um, if a cat is pre-treated with the gabapentin for high stress levels, this will work because gabapentin or the CBD pre-treatment will cause the cat to get the munchies. So having treats around, if you do have to use the therapy for your cat's grooming, um, is just going to be very helpful because they are going to be hungry or want to eat with whatever snacks that you have. Anyway, Rocco, you big lug. He's a beautiful, beautiful big boy. And we're going to get him out of his carrier and get started on him. Hello, man. Be cool. Oh, he's such a big boy. Oh, he's such a big boy. Say hi. So how are you? We have the heater going. right on the other side of the table there. Say hello. And the first thing I'm going to do is just take a utility comb. I like to use either the coarse um, JW comb. They have pulled that from the market. They have added it and made it a double comb. So you can't get the single wide anymore. But when I say it's a utility comb, I mean it's $10 and it works extremely well. The pins stay in place. You can't lose it. It doesn't get sucked up in your shop vac. It's too ugly for fellow groomers to steal from you. Um, and it is what I zeroed in on when my clients started asking me what grooming tools I recommended. I have seen these at some of the pet expos. So the company has been around for many, many years. He's in wonderful, wonderful condition. So pretty much any comb is going to be able to get through his coat. Now, for some reason, your cat's coat is heavy and matted. You're not going to be able to do the comb cut if you're trying to do it at home. You're better off shaving the cat first. Um, this one is all clipper is what we recommend for cat moms and dads. And then just make sure the setting, because it has 5 different settings, make sure the setting is going to be where the 10 blade would be, which is just one clip in right next to the 2.0, and just shave down your cat. Leave the mane if that's what you want. Wait a month, and then take one of the comb attachments that it comes with. You can pick whatever length works best for you. And when you're using the comb attachment, you're going to change that setting. And you're going to push it all the way to the other side and raise that blade, that white porcelain blade, all the way to the top. Snap on your comb, and then you start to go in reverse. You wait a month after the shave, and then start to go in reverse. And at that point, you're going to have about that much of growth. And then the following month, you can wait a month and go to a longer comb until you get the desired kitty cut that you want. So that is how you would do the comb cut on your cat using the One Is All clipper. It's going to tell you right on the box you cannot get a comb cut with this clipper on your cat. You could if you had a coat like Rocco's. Let me just see. It's pretty fresh. It doesn't have any mats. It's not full of oil. It's not impacted. So the chances of this clipper going through his coat, pretty good. See? But if it's impacted, oily, thick, don't even try to do this. It's not going to work. It's going to jam up. It's just not going to happen. So, hey, buddy. Now, if you are a groomer and the cat's coat comes in fully matted, impacted, and possibly pelted in some areas, you can do a comb cut. You don't have to say no to a heavy impacted coat. And the way you do that is by using a 7F wall competition series blade is what I use. I call this my velvet blade. And you take that coat with the grain, use the 7 for the outer shell, switch to something safer like a 10 for all the innards, underneath parts. Give the cat a proper wash, and then after the bath, once the cat is bone dry, you can then take a comb attachment. I use a blue and then go in reverse. And if you do that and then blend with the legs with the 7, if you do that, you can get a velvet comb cut, which is it's short, but it's a comb cut. It's not a shave, and the owners are. You don't have to say no to some of your owners. Now, one thing I should mention is when we advertise the service request of a liger cut, which is a comb cut, we specifically put on our website This is only for even temperament cats and only if they have a coat that is not matted or pelted up. Then you can get that true kitty cat. If the cat's coat is matted or pelted, we can still give the style, just not the length. And we're going to go with the velvet blade instead. So, anyway, let's get started. And I'm going to show you the standard kitty cut that we do here at the salon. Now, he may or may not like this happy hoodie. You always want to be receptive to what cats like and don't like. It's also a really great way to protect their whiskers. Um, some people put the happy hoodie on and then pull the whiskers back out again. And I specifically put the happy hoodie on to protect the whiskers. So, and then I'm going to use a power clipper. I have done side by side comparisons of a, a cordless clipper with their own individual slide on combs versus a power clipper with their own set of snap on combs. And by far, this gives you a much better, more polished look. It has more power, it has more torque. So if you want to use the cordless, you could do it maybe afterwards for the finishing. But the finished look is going to be cleaner and more polished if you stick with something that has power. And so I call this my green dragon. This is the Andis Ultra Edge. I don't think he likes that on his head. He doesn't need it, so we're just going to take it off. All right, so we want to keep his mane, so we don't want to cut into that. So we're going to get behind it. And we're just going to go with the grain. Probably tickle him a little bit. Hey, buddy. I'm going to have to put something on his head so I don't cut off those beautiful, beautiful long whiskers. So that does about 10 different things. One of them is to save the whiskers. I'm just going to get the bulk off of him. So the entire bulk of his coat is coming off now. Wow. Hey, buddy. How are you? Super, super cute. He's super, super cute. Now, every once in a while, you may have to clear that out. Up on his mane. I'm going to try and get a shape. Wow. We're doing the cat dance. He's in constant movement the whole time. So, uh, much like you trying to, if you're a hairdresser and you do children's hair, you can still cut their hair, but they're constantly kind of moving around a little bit. All right, put him on his side. That's it. That 2 comb attachment is my standard with the grain, but you can go longer. You can go shorter. Wow. If you want a lower maintenance comb cut, you would do what I do with some cat clients, and you switch to a 7, and the whole underbelly, undercarriage, inside the legs, everything is shorter. So you can either switch to a shorter comb, and what you're doing is you're making those problem areas a little bit shorter and easier to maintain. And that is going to come in handy if the cat's coat is matted or pelted in those areas. So if I wanted to do a lower maintenance comb cut, I would just take the arm straight up and go in with the 7, inside of the legs, in the belly, inside of there, and then go straight down the back with it as well. But he's getting fluffed, same size all over. All right, let's get the sanitary clip in. Just adjust my camera. Sorry, bud. We're going to get him on his side to do it. This is my official sanitary clipper. I usually like to keep what's shaving the back end of a cat separate from my other clippers. He's tickling. All right, next step. One of the secrets to getting a really clean, polished comb cut is don't forget to comb or brush. You want to comb or brush out that entire coat after you cut it down, if you're leaving length. And that's going to pull out all of that dead coat. If you were able to get that clipper through a heavy impacted coat and you want to keep length, make sure all of it is brushed and combed out, and then just follow up with a utility comb like this JW. This comb is going to be your litmus test whether that coat is ready for the bath. If you want a really tight bottom on your comb cut, I'm doing the 7 right back in there. You need it. Yes, you did. You're just a proud goof. Let's get his nails done. Actually, we'll give ourselves something to do while we're in the tub because we're going to use some groomer scoop on him. So it's going to be tricky because I'm doing a double live stream. Let us put TikTok there and let's put YouTube there. Hopefully it doesn't get too wet. Wow, wow. Are you getting upset? He's a ragdoll. Oh, let's. There. Better. All right, so what do we want to goop? Well, he's got lots of separation right in there. And that is where all of his glory is. He has a really majestic mane. So we're going to properly pre-treat that with a product called Groomer's Goop. It's a 5-minute pre-treatment. If it's really heavily oiled, you might want to wait 7 to 10 minutes. One of the things that's going to stand out with this particular style are the legs, and it's going to come with perfect paws because the tiger cuts and liger cuts come with a perfect paw add-on when you take all that toe feathering off. So treating the legs is going to come in handy to get that finished polished look. These are things that you can skip at home, especially if you've never washed your cat before. The last thing you want to do is use a product like Groomer's Goop. It comes in a 16-ounce bottle if you are looking for the liquid cream. I buy it by the gallon, and then I also preheat it so it's nice and warm. Now, if you've got a coat that you've cut down that's covered in lots of oil and dander, go ahead and pre-treat that coat as well. You doing it? Yes, you are. And the other leg. I usually avoid doing a full body pre-treatment if the cat doesn't need it. I only apply it where it's needed. Wow. And then I'm just going to make sure that Groomer's Goop is worked through the entire coat. Yeah. And then while that is working, I've given myself a couple of things to do. And I found a use for these big stretched out happy hoodies. Some of them are starting to stretch out. Some of them don't. So the stretched out ones I use one over the head of a cat who's getting gooped. There. So I've given myself a couple things to do while I'm waiting for that Groomer's Goop to work. The Groomer's Goop I buy by the gallon is on the Groomer's Mart link in my bio. There's a couple places that sell it. I specifically like to work with the liquid, which is a little bit harder to find by the gallon. Cherrybrook carries it, and Groomer's Mart carries it. Groomer's Mart is great, pretty fast shipping, nice customer service. All right, let's try and get his nails done. I know. There we go. The happy hoodie that's on his head will also protect any sound triggering that your cat might have from the sprayer. If you have a cat who's hyperbolic with sound triggering, you can always double up on that happy hoodie because one fits right over the other, and that will help with the initial start of the bath if you are using a sprayer. Now, I said I would never go live with a ragdoll again for a class, but because they'll just try and talk over you the entire time. But he's not that bad. Hi, hi. See if I can get some questions. We're going to take questions after the class, but I can definitely take some questions. Thank you so much. His ear popped out. It's fine. I had a randomly blue tip. I'm not sure what that means. So thank you so much for the roses, guys. We're just trying to get the warm water to start. That's the one thing about my salon that needs to be fixed. Instant, I want instant warm water when I turn it on. Oh, I thought you meant your TikTok. You got your blue check for your TikTok account. All right, that's fine. All right, one of the best products you can use for any kind of a comb cut is going to be the Chubb Spa. It is a texturizing shampoo for cats as well. So, but you want to learn how to clean the cat properly so that you don't have a greasy cat afterwards. You need pure fluff. You need it to be clean, and you need it to be dry as a bone before you can start sculpting. And so a lot of those steps are skipped, or the process is not understood. Therefore, you don't get that look that you want, because I don't think groomers know how if they're not asking for or receiving training from a cat grooming organization. So they do the best that they can. The difference between dog grooming and cat grooming, one of the differences is the oil in the cat's coat, which throws a roadblock to a lot of dog groomers because they don't understand how to work with that. And then, of course, you have also the temperament handling and things like that. There's a lot of lost in translation between dog grooming and cat grooming. All right, so we've allowed that groomer scoop to pretty much sit on the areas that we've been wanting to treat for long enough. Mm, I know. Put that back on. All right, we'll start with his front legs. Meow, meow, meow. There. Rinse out that groomer scoop. All right, here we go. So I usually do my dynamic duo for degreasing, which is Chubb's Bar and F&T. It's seriously, is that better? I know. It's at the end of the world. So welcome to the world of ragdoll cat grooming. So ragdolls, when they come in for grooming, a lot of the times they don't stop meowing. So sometimes it's going to be confusing to know or be able to distinguish between a cat meowing, a cat's I'm wet meow, and a cat who's in distress meow. So because a ragdoll normally talks all the time for their grooming. So you have to learn how to distinguish. And Rocco arrived purring, and he's quite a happy boy. And so I would say that this is his I'm wet meow, as well as being a ragdoll. All right, so we did double wash. You always double wash with cats. If you're just washing once, you're not doing it right. You're getting your cat wet, you're washing them, but you're completely skipping the whole process and understanding of how to clean cat fur. And some of you are actually turning around and charging people a lot of money for your lack of training and experience, which in my mind is false advertising. But yet nobody wants to take a groomer to court for a bad haircut or a bad grooming. One, probably because just to file in this area alone is $250. So they're just going to leave it. Or they're going to stay. These cat owners are going to just accept that that's as good as it gets. And they're going to continue to go back to that groomer and believe what that dog groomer is saying to them, not realizing there's a better way, right? So what would be the better way? Take your cat to a trained cat groomer, or encourage your dog groomer to seek out training in cat grooming. This is what happens when I go live with a ragdoll. They will continue to talk over me during the class. So, and the more I talk, the more he's going to meow and the louder he's going to get. Welcome to the world of ragdoll cat grooming as you go live to demonstrate a cat grooming class. So, if I stop talking, he should stop meowing. Get that on so we can keep it dry. Meow meow. And other side. Gotta rinse out that groomer scoop in the back haunch area. Meow meow. Other side. Good boy. You're doing it. Yes, you are. You're doing it, little man. Good boy. Meow meow. I know. Meow meow. Meow meow. It's at the end of the world. I know. Meow meow. That. It doesn't taste good. Meow meow. I know. Scott, I'm afraid to talk because he's just going to try and talk over me the minute I start. I reminded myself never to go live with the ragdoll, but I think I forgot. Oh, whoops. For a Sunday class, I go live all the time with ragdolls, but for the Sunday class, it kind of gets in the way. I know. We're doing a deep clean with the degreasing shampoo after the groomer's goop pre-treatment. Got a long, beautiful mane. If you feel as you're washing your cat that you've caused some tangles, um, you could do. There's a couple of things you could do, and one of the things that I recommend is the Beaks brush. That's my wet detangler. It's just right down in there. So that has 250 little raised nibs, and that's going to easily just untangle everything. See what happens when I talk? So we're going to stay quiet for now. You're just going to have to follow along. I'll start holding up products because I can't talk. He's hijacking my class until he gets out of the tub. Come on. Wow. Wow, wow. End of the world. Mournful prince. You just a mournful prince. You sure. Mm-hmm. I know it's so terrible. It's so terrible. Wow. 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 Henry. 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 Wow. 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 I know. I know. Wow. Wow. Oh my lord. I know. Wow. He's looking for his exit. So I have him facing away from how to leave. Sometimes it helps. All right, let's just rinse that. That would be a no. For those of you who are skipping the face, that's fine. If you are planning on washing the head, have a face cloth on standby just to keep the head as dry as you can. Doing some warm rinse water bottles will help keep that sprayer away from the face in case that cat is starting to get triggered from the sprayer. So warm rinse water will help you get closer to the areas that a sprayer may normally trigger a cat with. So you can do a lot of rinsing with the sprayer in and around if your cat lets you. I'm talking about when you want to go really close. The dome of the head. And then as soon as you're done with all of that, grab for your saline and then just give the eyes a quick flush. Feel around, make sure you don't have any shampoo left. Awesome. All right, so he's starting to, those areas are starting to get nice and squeaky. You can beat it. You can beat it. I know. And then once you dry that head off a little bit, put a dry happy hoodie back over his head. It should help. It may not help with Rocco is his name, but it may help with your cat. And then the way to keep that dry is just put a little cone on your cat's head. I have used wet happy hoodies, damp, which does help with some cats and not so much with others. All right, so for the initial shampoo down the body, I have a heated water-based degreasing shampoo, and then I'm going to utilize a really great tool that I found at one of the big chains. That is a curry brush, but it's a pretty amazing one. Look how long the nibs are, which is, see how short these ones are? So this is going to start to penetrate the coat a little bit better. And what's in there is a reservoir of shampoo. So you could do two curry brushes, one for your degreasing shampoo and one for your finishing shampoo. Or you could do what I do, which is I just put hypo in there. And that's just going to help add a little bit of lather. Using a curry, when you're trying to wash and clean a cat's coat for a comb cut, this is an amazing trick to get that polished comb look. If you skip a curry on the coat, um, chances are that oil is going to kind of linger and stick around. You could also use an exfoliating glove to get a better clean and polish, but this works amazingly well. The only problem with this particular tool is you can't rest it like that because then all the soap will start to ooze out through the holes that are in there. And I have a very thick shampoo in there. It's very thick and it's still coming out. So you have to rest it upside down to save your shampoo. This is going to be perfect for any short hair cat or any long hair cat who's getting a comb cut, any medium length coat cat who's short on the top and longer on the bottom, like a Maine Coon cat. It's ideal because the nibs are so long. So it's going to start to penetrate through that coat and get more of a deep clean. Thank you for the roses. I'm actually going to order my 8 Plus phone that died, and ever since then I haven't been able to read comments. All of the Pros, the 12 and the 13, micro size the comments. You can't see them, even if you change your font size. I'm going back to my 8 Plus, and I'm going to buy one refurbished, and I'm going to get that back where I can actually maybe see the comments coming through again. Wah, 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 wah. Wow. All right, so here is one of the secret steps. Once that shampoo is in there and you're trying to remove all that oil and dead coat, even though you've shaved it down, well, you cut it down short, you have to brush that coat the entire way through your cat's grooming. You can use one of these to kind of get it out. You can use one of these to get it out, but you have to continuously pull that dead coat out so that by the time you get done with your grooming, oh, we found something. See how he stopped crying when things felt good? So he didn't like that brush. So he right away started talking again. So he's not going to like his tail getting cleaned either. So grab for that. Hurry. Wow. All right. Get rid of that. And rinse. 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 Good boy. It should be just absolutely squeaky clean. I usually don't rely on my finishing shampoo. Oh, I can't talk. Sorry. Wow. All right, finishing shampoo is the one I'm using for him today is the reverse opposite of my house shampoo. So normally it's a 2/3 mixture, no, 2/4 mixture of hypo, 1/4 mixture of VIP clarifying by Le Pooch, and then the rest is water, and then I froth it. This time I'm going to add 2/4 of the VIP. It's a clarifying. So using clarifying shampoos for a comb cut, yeah, that's going to work really well. Chris Christensen's Clean Start is also another clarifying that some cat groomers love to use. They both are going to have a fragrance, but it's very light and you can strengthen it or make it just a whisper, the fragrance. Or if you just don't want any at all, just stick to the hypo. But keep in mind, not every hypo is going to be unscented. Pink Paw Pal's hypo, scented. Um, some of the ones that you find over the counter at the pet stores, scented. So just because it says hypo, that doesn't mean no fragrance. So you have to double check that on the labeling. Where are the dirtiest spots on a cat? The front of the back legs, and then the back haunches, the front of the front legs. And if you skip that curry, chances are that oil is going to linger there. This encourages everything to let go of the coat. He's like, stop. Fluffy feet. And last but not least, he's like, you don't touch that. You don't get to touch that. Okay, got it. And then remember, when you put this down, turn it upside down, or all your shampoo is going to come out the holes. Oh my God. Wow. Wow. And wow. And wow. And wow. He certainly lets me know when he's happy and when he's not happy. Now, do you understand why a lot of groomers skip this step? They'll actually do the comb cut without the bath and hand the cat back with the cut because of how long it takes sometimes to clean the cat's coat properly. Just doing a quick, speedy speed wash on a cat, you can't get away with that. You can probably get away with it with your dog clients, but you can't with a cat client. You have to pull what's in the coat out. Otherwise, it doesn't work. Wow, 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 wow. You need it. You need it. He's like, I'm out of here. That's you, lady. You did it. Yeah, you did it. You did it, little man. You did. Again, if you're worried about whether you rinsed your cat's coat out correctly or not, you can get them in a basin if you want with water, or just feel around with your fingers. I've got plenty of water pressure, so I don't have to do the basin rinse on on him because he's not in full coat. This is this is fine. And then I'm usually doing the full coat basin rinse if I'm wanting to add a treatment to that rinse. So you can do a vinegar. That's what happens when I talk, when I'm doing a live stream cat class with a rag doll. So for a lot of people, specifically TikTok, who don't understand, this is what happens when you groom a ragdoll cat. They are the Italians of the cat family. Okay? Yeah, you did it. All right, so do the finger test. Make sure that coat is nice and clean and properly rinsed. Your fingers are going to be able to tell you that. Good boy. Mm, you did it. You did it. Double towel wrap. Utilizing the towel for drying. If you do, we'll get him out of the tub. Come here. Up, go. You did it. You did it. You did it. Okay. There. Yeah. Oh, he's so sweet. He started purring. You hear him? He's like, thank God. All right, so I can't do two lives at the same time like I used to. So let me just do one of them.